like to introduce, and they really don't need an introduction, is Sheriff Leonard and Colonel Katz, again, to share their perspectives of the sworn officers that are in Chesterfield County and the community partnerships, citizen engagements, and everything else that goes along in being Chesterfield County. And when they're done, I just have a small example of a staff resource that we're putting forth together as well. But first and foremost, Sheriff Leonard and Colonel Katz.
Again, good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board, Dr. Casey. First, I want to say before I talk about the men and women of the Sheriff's Office, that I don't have a partnership with the Chief of Police in Chesterfield County. I have a relationship. And it's a great relationship, and I think the citizens benefit from the relationship we have. At the start of COVID-19, Chief Katz actually called me and wanted to know what he could do to ease my issues at the jail. If he needed to take any specific action to help me out in the jail. And I told him, I appreciate that, but no, you don't. In fact, my exact words to him were, we're open for business. You keep having your men and women do their job, and we'll be there for you. But that just shows you he's thinking beyond his own organization when he reaches out to me saying, how can we help the Sheriff's Office as we navigate through COVID-19? So I appreciate that, Chief. And we have been open for business this entire time, 14, 15 weeks now. And the citizens of Chesterfield County are well served by that. And I appreciate that and the work of Chief Katz and his men and women. As far as my men and women, I couldn't be prouder of the deputies right now and everything they do day in and day out of everything that's going on with COVID-19. From day one, they've still had to come to work every day and maintain their shifts, running a 24-hour operation at the jail, 7 days a week, and operations at the court and civil process. It's tough enough to ask them to come to work on a normal day and work in the back of the jail, but when you have known cases of COVID-19, and at the most we've had 41 inmates who tested positive, only a handful who were actually symptomatic, majority were asymptomatic, but yet they were positive. We created 2 special pods, dorms, to put those who are positive in isolation so we can monitor them, have medical pay them attention, and take care of their needs. But because they're positive with COVID-19, it doesn't relieve us of our obligation that the state mandates we do. Deputies, at least 2 times an hour, and sometimes every 15 minutes, have to check on every single inmate in our jail. That means going into their cells, especially at nighttime, and you have to actually touch them sometimes to make sure they're okay. So these deputies come into work every day, not with their head low, with their head high, proud of what they're doing, not a single complaint from them, go to work every day and go into known areas where people are positive and still do their job and do a great job at it. So I couldn't be any prouder of them and the work they've done every day for the last 14 weeks. And it's been remarkable to see their spirits still up there despite everything. Continue to be proud of who they serve, who they represent, Chesterfield County, and wear that badge. The other thing I'd like to say is our county has been phenomenal. The outpour from citizens and businesses has been remarkable from day one of COVID-19. The meals provided to our staff at the jail, at the courthouse, night shift, day shift, weekends, has been unparalleled in anything I've seen in almost 40 years here. They've been an outpouring of support for us from all areas of the county, including one gentleman who gave up his stimulus check, used that stimulus check to pay for food to provide a meal to the deputies. That's what we have in Chesterfield County. That's the support we've been seeing, and that's why I love this county so much. It's a great community, and I have to thank all our citizens for all their support. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff. Dr. Casey, Madam Chair, members of the board, want to thank you for the outpouring of support over the course of the last couple of months, specifically as it relates to COVID. And then if COVID were not challenging enough, there has been a bout of civil unrest and a lot of criticism of law enforcement nationwide. I'm proud to share with you that, over the course of the last couple of weeks, we've had a number of people reach out to us with concerns, thoughts, and ideas. We've hosted a number of community events. Mr. Holland did 2 in his district. And we've met with civic groups, and I've taken a number of strangers to lunch over the course of the last couple of weeks just to sit down and have some discussions. You know, everything we do starts and ends with the quality of the relationships that we build with people, and I am so proud. You know, when I came on board at the Chesterfield County Police Department 2.5 years ago, I felt like I won the professional lottery. I really felt very fortunate to be here and to be part of a winning team. I'm very excited about where we've gone and where we continue to go. And a lot of the questions that have come up, a lot of the questions relating to things like, do we authorize chokeholds? We haven't authorized chokeholds in 30 years in this department. Do we do no-knock warrants? No, we don't. We haven't done no-knock warrants. We just don't do no-knock warrants. In fact, we generally don't even do dynamic entries when we do our search warrants. You know, the fact of the matter is the men and women of our department, now and in the past, the leadership of the department now and in the past, have blazed trails to do the right thing for the right reasons in the right timing, not because they were mandated, not because they were criticized, but because it was the right thing to do. It was best practices, and we continue on that path. I'm very proud of our team, the men and women of our department, their families, which have come under incredible scrutiny of late. The fact that they come to work every day and they do the work that they do and they build the relationships that they do, it is overwhelming the amount of support that we have seen, and even in the concerns that we have faced. When we have those discussions and those conversations, people are relieved of those concerns that they've had in the past. So I want to thank you for your support. I want to thank you on behalf of the men and women of our department. I want to thank the sheriff for his partnership and the county administrator and you for your service and for your support, not just over the last couple of months, but over the last couple of years. And finally, I do want to share a bit of good news with you. When I came here, I said that one of my main priorities was to make sure that we had a high-quality police force that was fully staffed. And we've done a lot of research and we've done a lot of work, and I'm proud to share with you that as effective July 13th, for the first time in 25 years, the Chesterfield County Police Department will be fully staffed with their sworn personnel. And I think that that is a tribute to the men and women of this department, the reservoir of trust that our folks have built with the community, and the fact that really everybody wants to be part of a winning team. And I stand before you very proud to be the head coach of that team. Thank you.
Board members, any comments?
Yes, I'll go first in regard. First of all, I want to thank you both for being here, for allaying the concerns I've received from the community members about what the Chesterfield Police Department does or does not do. I want to thank you for assuring me. We've learned a lot over the last few weeks, as you know, with the national unrest we've all faced and experienced. And so I applaud you both for the outstanding work that you're doing, Sheriff and Chief. It really makes us feel so proud to say Chesterfield is a leader in many areas, especially in terms of policing, which is a critical area, especially as it relates to the African-American community. And so I applaud you and thank you for that at this point. Thank you for your outstanding work.
Madam Chair. I wrote a statement a few weeks ago about George Floyd, and I want to read it and also make some comments and thank the Colonel and the Sheriff, both for their leadership in this community, because it's unheralded. I think you two should win an award for the type of cooperation and collaboration you demonstrate on a daily basis to the entire region. Some of my constituents live in homes built near the remains of the country's first major industrial operation. The Midlothian mines, which relied on labor of enslaved people, produced coal that heated the White House during the administration of Thomas Jefferson, who more than anyone else defined our new American version of liberty. When President Jefferson composed letters from the Oval Office championing that liberty, he enjoyed warmth put off by coal that was dug up by men held in bondage. This is just one version of the foundational American paradox that has played out in countless ways over the centuries. Our nation was conceived in a promise of universal liberty, but has been slow to extend that promise to all of our people equally. George Floyd's horrific killing has joltingly reminded us that when our black neighbors sometimes doubt that all American institutions are serving them equally, they have good reason to do so. Our responsibility now is to move our country forward to a place where all citizens enjoy a fair, transparent, and accountable justice system that protects the God-given rights of all people. For her faults, America has a genius for converting pain into progress. And that effort extends to Chesterfield County, where we have engaged in active listening for years of our citizens and continue to do so. And I think also thoughtful contemplation. On June 17th, I joined my colleague, Jim Holland, for a powerful community conversation with Chesterfield pastors and clergy at Southside Church of the Nazarene. We heard real testimonies regarding experiences and perceptions in Chesterfield, as well as real data from our Chesterfield Police Department members. Pastor Duncan of Faith and Family Church on Walmsley reminded us of the importance of team. He had a good acronym, Together Each Achieve More. And it underscores relationship, which is the word that you led off with, Sheriff Leonard. And that message directly underscores the positive path forward for all of us, which is unity. How do we set out to intentionally achieve unity around the concept that each American be afforded life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness? Well, the path is clear to me. Relationship building. Through relationships, we can renew and build on our common culture, one that values both the written word and the spirit of the Constitution and Declaration of Independence. This effort, of course, can take many forms, and it does right here in Chesterfield County. A couple of years ago, we created the Police Athletic League, and our efforts to build it continue. Its charge fundamentally is to build relationships between our community and police. If this effort sounds appealing to you, if this sounds like something you want to be involved with, please let Colonel Katz know. Please let the sheriff know. Please let me know. We will plug you in because it's too important. This effort is too important, both in a short, intermediate, and long-term goal format. We have to get plugged in. So I want to thank each of you, Sheriff. I want to thank you, Colonel, again, for your good work and your words. Thank you.
Madam Chair, Dr. Casey, did you have some other reports?
When you are done with this
Okay.
particular topic, yes, sir.
Okay, that topic.
Right. Mr. Engel.
I like to share publicly my confidence in the Sheriff's Department and the Police Department and both of your respective leaderships for those departments. The way you carry yourselves and the standards that you've set for your men and women to follow have served us well in this time of unrest throughout the country, where we've seen our relationships better served in our community because of what you and your departments have done up before this time of unrest. And I really appreciate everything you and your men and women are doing. Thank you.
Working now? Hit the wrong button. It's been a while since we've been back up here, so, I've known Carl for 30-plus years. We had the opportunity to serve together in the police department, and we've seen how our community has grown and changed throughout the years. And Colonel, I've gotten to know you over the last 2.5 years. I've actually had the pleasure of working for 4 different chiefs of police in Chesterfield County, you being the 4th. And what Chris said earlier certainly is at the crux of what we have in our community. We have relationships. We've had them for a long time. That's why I think that we have such a healthy rapport with our community. We have one of the best national night out programs in the country, where we get people from the community to come out. We have one of the largest. I think we were ranked 8th in the entire United States for a locality our size last year. I might be wrong on it, maybe 7th. But consistently in the top 10 for the last several years. And that's really, if you think about how that works, is yes, we organize those, but the people in those communities want to have those national night out events. And certainly last year I got to go to several events with both of you. It's the relationship building that we do every day with our rank and file, our men and women that are on the ground, boots on the ground, as they say, in the community, meeting with people, serving people. That's how these relationships start. That's how you build trust within the community. We're so lucky, even with all, and I will include some of the other agencies that serve us as well, the state police, our fire department. We're very lucky to have, and I will even say all of our support staff within the county. We're very fortunate that we hire and train really good people that can provide excellent service to our community. And, I applaud both of you for your leadership, your mentorship, and the fact that you make yourself approachable to everybody, right? It doesn't matter if you're a brand new recruit or you've been on the department for 30 years, and it doesn't matter if it's the first time you see someone in a lobby. And that's, I think, why we've been very fortunate to have such a relationship with the community in Chesterfield County. And can't be more proud to say that I've been part of the organization and get to know both of you. So thank you very much for everything that you do for us.
And I just want to briefly add, I think it's the citizens of Chesterfield that won the professional lottery, one of whom was chosen by the citizens, one of whom was chosen by this board in recognition of what we heard from the citizens. And we really have been served so well by the leadership you've shown, the integrity you've shown, and it's not about all of what's written in that rule book. I mean, those standards in that rule book really help, but it's about the culture that both of you have created within the men and women that serve, and it's all because the basis of that culture is serving our citizens. That's what it's about, and we thank you.